When the skies of America roared with the sound of Boeing jets, few imagined a storm was brewing below. But in the shadows of politics and power, Donald Trump, never one to back down, locked horns with an aviation giant. This isn't just business. It's a battle for the soul of American industry. Welcome to Timeless America, the home of stories that shaped our nation, one event, one leader, one legacy at a time. If you love powerful tales of American history, epic rivalries, and leadership under pressure, you're in the right place. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell, so you never miss a new story that takes you deep into the heart of America's timeless journey. The year was 2016. The world watched as Donald J. Trump, billionaire businessman and political outsider, stormed the gates of the establishment and took the highest office in the land. As the world debated what kind of president he would be, Trump had one message for America's industries. We're putting America first again. But not everyone would fly smoothly under this new command. In the skies above Washington and the boardrooms of Seattle, a collision course was being set. On one side was Boeing, the iconic symbol of American engineering and the unrivaled titan of the skies. On the other, a president who demanded cost-cutting, accountability, and loyalty to the American taxpayer. This is the story of Donald Trump versus Boeing, a story of pride, power, and political turbulence that rattled the very wings of American aviation. It all began with a tweet. December 6, 2016. Even before he officially took office, President-elect Donald Trump took to Twitter and sent shockwaves through Wall Street. Boeing is building a brand new 747 Air Force One for future presidents, but costs are out of control, more than $4 billion. Cancel order! Just 140 characters. But to Boeing, it was a missile. The aviation world froze. Executives panicked. The stock market trembled. Here was the president-elect, targeting one of America's proudest companies, before he even set foot in the Oval Office. To Trump, it was simple. No company, no matter how iconic, was above scrutiny. Boeing's $4 billion price tag for the new Air Force One was unacceptable. To him, it was symbolic of everything wrong with the Washington industrial complex: bloated costs, cozy government contracts, and unchecked spending. To Boeing, it was war. Boeing had long been embedded in the American defense and aviation story. From the mighty B-17s of World War II to the sleek Dreamliners of today, it was a symbol of American might, ingenuity, and reach. But now, it was facing a president who knew the art of the deal and the power of pressure. The tension only escalated when reports surfaced of Trump meeting with rival aircraft makers like Lockheed Martin and Northrop Grumman, hinting at alternatives to Boeing's exclusive grip on Air Force One. It wasn't just about one contract anymore. Trump was sending a clear message. Every deal would be challenged, every price questioned, and no sacred cow was safe. Behind the scenes, Boeing scrambled. Lobbyists were dispatched. PR firms spun narratives, executives sought meetings, and slowly, the company began to bend under the weight of presidential pressure. Behind the bright lights of the press room, a high-stakes negotiation unfolded. Trump, with his signature directness, demanded the price be slashed. Boeing, aware of the optics and desperate to stay in the administration's good graces, worked to restructure the deal. By February 2018, Boeing conceded. Trump announced that the cost of the new Air Force One had been brought down by over $1.4 billion, a dramatic win for his administration and a blow to Boeing's ego. But make no mistake, this wasn't a clean handshake deal. The air was thick with tension, distrust, and bruised pride. Boeing, a giant used to quiet dealings and unquestioned respect, had been humbled in full public view. Then came the darkest chapter. In 2018 and 2019, two deadly crashes involving the Boeing 737 MAX, one in Indonesia, the other in Ethiopia, claimed the lives of 346 people. The world mourned. investigations began, and Boeing's shining image began to disintegrate. The Trump administration found itself in the middle of a storm. At first, the FAA hesitated to ground the aircraft, even as other countries acted swiftly. Critics accused the White House of being too cozy with Boeing. Whispers of influence, corporate lobbying, and regulatory capture began to swirl. But eventually, Trump acted. Under mounting pressure, he grounded the 737 MAX, calling it a difficult decision. Behind closed doors, though, the relationship between Boeing and the administration had shattered. The very company Trump once challenged on costs was now facing existential threats, and the White House was no longer an ally, but a skeptical overseer. Boeing's woes didn't stop with the MAX crisis. The company was hit with lawsuits, investigations, and plummeting sales. Its CEO was forced to resign. Trust, both public and governmental, was lost. And as COVID-19 swept across the globe, Boeing faced its most dire challenge yet: grounded planes, halted production, and a shattered reputation. When Boeing came to Washington for help, seeking a multi-billion-dollar bailout, the echoes of Trump's earlier battles returned. The message from the White House was clear: no blank checks. No handouts without oversight. Boeing, once the golden child of American aviation, now found itself humbled before the very administration it had once considered a partner. Despite the turbulence, Trump didn't entirely abandon Boeing. He knew the company's value to American jobs, exports, and defense. But he made it clear: the days of unchecked privilege were over. Every deal had to deliver. Every mistake had a price, and loyalty to the American taxpayer came before loyalty to any corporation. By the end of Trump's presidency, Boeing had weathered one of its darkest eras. It emerged battered, its image scarred, and its relationship with Washington forever changed. Trump, for his part, left behind a legacy of confronting even the most powerful companies, demanding more, and reminding giants like Boeing that no one is bigger than the American people. The clash between Donald Trump and Boeing wasn't just about a plane or a price tag. It was about something deeper: the future of American industry. It asked hard questions. Can American companies still be held accountable? Should tradition protect corporations from scrutiny? What happens when a president refuses to play by the old rules? In Trump's America, Boeing learned that prestige meant little if it wasn't backed by performance. That loyalty had to be earned. And that sometimes even the kings of the sky have to answer to the man on the ground. This story isn't over. Boeing continues to fly. New administrations bring new dynamics. But the turbulence of the Trump era left lasting marks in boardrooms, in contracts, and in the conscience of American capitalism. In a nation built by bold visionaries and driven by relentless industry, the battle between Boeing and Donald Trump is a modern parable about power, pride, and the painful but necessary path to reform. It reminds us that leadership is not about popularity, it's about accountability. And that sometimes the loudest voices are the ones that bring the clearest change. At Timeless America, we don't just report history. We live it, we feel it, and we bring it to you with the emotion, depth, and truth it deserves. If this story stirred something in you, if it made you rethink the way business and government collide, then please, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share this story with someone who still believes in truth and bold leadership. Because stories like this, they're not just history, they're timeless.